What's up, everybody? Thanks for stopping by Capsule to Cone. I'm Matt McQueen, and today we're in my studio, Gem City Studios here in Jellicoe, Tennessee, and we're going to talk about recording DIs and reamping and editing your guitars to get them to sound pro and good and tight and all the things that good guitar tracks should be. All right, so we're going to jump in and we're going to talk about how I record guitars. So this is my G&L ASAT. It's pretty cool. And the way that I have things set up here is I've got my G&L, which could be any guitar that the guitar player in the band that you're recording is playing. It then goes from here over to the rack, and it plugs into an Avalon DI box. So while we're tracking guitars, that Avalon DI box, as you can see here, it then goes into Pro Tools, and it's hitting my interface on channel 5, and then we're coming out of my interface on output 6, which is on the patch bay, and I'm patching from that output into my radial reamp box. And the reamp box then sits right behind me on the producer's desk, which you are now seeing some sexy B-roll of. And the producer's desk today just has one lonely little pedal on it, a Wampler Paisley Drive Deluxe. And what's cool about this setup, though, is that I can put any pedal here. I can have a delay pedal, I can have multiple pedals, I can have like a phaser and a reverb and an overdrive. And it comes out of the reamp box, which at this point is still just the DI signal, and it goes into pedals of my choice and then into the amplifier of my choice, which also can be right in here with me and the band in the control room, and you can use it just like outboard gear. Dial in the amp sound that you want, dial in the sound that you want from the pedals, get whatever kind of guitar sound that you want. And so today, the guitar sound sounds like this. All right. And as long as you have both tracks armed, like I do here in Pro Tools, the guitar that the guitar player is playing will be coming through. All right, so here's the reason that you want to do this is, one, it's going to help you to identify really quickly if your guitar player is playing in time. You can see the transients here of the DI, and you can see them much more clearly than you could the guitar track if you were recording. And that's all you were doing, was just recording what the amp was picking up, because it's distorted, it's squished together, and it's, you know, the waveform just, it doesn't look like the DI looks. In fact, the waveform looks like this. Okay, so the DI is here above, and the recorded track from the microphone and from the amp is here below. Going through and trying to edit that's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be really, really hard to find where the transients are and to get it really, really tight. So you want to record a DI. That's going to help you to see that that the guitar has been played well. It's going to make your job editing a lot easier. So what you can end up doing, if we look at this playlist here, and I've actually already made a little test edit there, you can see that the way the guitar was played, it's just barely just a little bit loose. These two notes here, this one is kind of actually, this first note is a little behind the beat, and it looks like the next one is on, the next one is behind. So, you know, we could end up coming through here and just making kind of a little chop edit like this, sliding everything back over. Now those two are a little bit more tight, but now this guy here, we'll just tab to transient him, cut him, and cut him again, and slide him back over. And then now we're just going to crossfade these guys back. All right. And you can be doing this while the guitar player's tuning. You just go through, you make a few edits, make a few crossfades. Bam, it's done. And because you've used a DI, those edits are really easy to make. And with some practice, you'll get really fast at it. And then you can just come through here like I've done on both of these tracks, and you've got a finished edit that you can go ahead and reamp. And so that's what I'm gonna do, is I'm just gonna go ahead and come through here. We've got these edits done. I'm gonna go ahead and record the first guitar. All right, so I've got the first one reamped. Now what I want to do is jump back into Pro Tools, and I'm going to go ahead and unarm that track, and I'm going to take my DI and I want to turn it all the way down on that output, and then I'm going to turn the other one all the way up and do the same thing. I'm just going to go ahead and reamp it, but I want a slightly different sound. And so what I can actually do, I know just from playing around with this beforehand that I liked the Paisley drive. I'm just going to switch channels on that and leave the amp set the same because it sounds good. Cab sounds good, mic sounds good. I want these guitars to be kind of the same, but just slightly different versions. And so really all I did was just use a different channel on the overdrive pedal to try to get something where this second guitar, which is more of a picked part, like an arpeggiated kind of thing, can just breathe a little bit more and not have quite as much overdrive going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and reamp that one now. Okay, cool, we've got the reamps done. They sound really, really good. I'm glad that we used the Fender Deluxe. I really like the way that that amp sounds in this track. And what I wanna do is I wanna just really quickly summarize what we did today. We plugged our guitar into a DI box, and then from the DI box, we ran into Pro Tools and recorded the DI sound. And we then routed it back out of Pro Tools into a reamping box that lets us choose whatever guitar pedal or amp we want to craft our sound with. And then using a microphone and a preamp, we recorded that guitar and amp sound simultaneously with the DI that we were recording. What this allows us to do is while the guitar player is recording, we can then see if the guitar player is playing in time because of that transient information and how easily it is to line that up with the grid lines in Pro Tools or our DAW of choice. Then what we can do is we can go through after the take has been played and we can quickly edit. Because we've got that DI track, we can edit the guitars and get them to be really, really tight. And then by simply unarming the DI track, we've disconnected the guitar player's guitar from the signal path, but we can still play the DI that's now been edited through the pedals and the amplifier that we were recording and reamp with the same guitar sound that we recorded with and have really tight, already edited guitars that the band will enjoy listening to, you will enjoy listening to all day long. They're gonna sound really tight, they're gonna sound really pro, and it's going to make your production run a lot smoother throughout the course of the day because your guitar tracks will sound right. And nobody will be sitting on the couch sitting there saying to you, oh, did you hear that? That didn't sound right to me. Oh, I think we should maybe adjust that, or maybe I should play that again, which is only gonna slow down your production. All right, guys, I've been Matt for Capsule to Cone. Thanks for watching, and try this on your next production and let me know how it goes. See ya.